All right, bar graphs. I like graphs. I think a lot of students like graphs. It's something you've probably seen before. So it should be some review, at least initially. So here's an example of a bar graph. If I asked you, how many votes did Pancakes get? Well, I can find, okay, Pancakes. The y-axis is telling me the number of votes. So I can see, okay, it's in between 6 and 9. It's a little messy with this. Oops, erase. There you go. So then I have to figure out what number it's actually pointing to. Okay, because it's a higher than 6. If we think, okay, what numbers are in between? We have 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we'd probably estimate and say, okay, 7 is going to be a little closer to 6. 8 is going to be a little closer to 9. So that is probably 7. 7 votes for Pancakes. I should also point out, you always want to start by taking a look at the title, favorite breakfast foods. Look at each axis. What is it telling you? Breakfast foods here, number of votes here. We can see eggs. Okay, that's right at 6. Waffles. Okay, less than 3. If I look over there. Okay, so I have 1 and 2. Is it closer to 0, which would be 1? No, it's probably at 2. And then French toast is exactly at 3. Now, other questions that they can ask. They might ask, how many votes did waffles and French toast get? That's a little hard to see. Waffles and French toast. Well, in that case, I'm going to combine them. How do I combine them? By adding. So I would get 5. Oops, I wrote on top of my writing. 5 votes for waffles and French toast. Another question that might get asked is, how many more votes did eggs get than waffles? Well, if we're asking how many more, we're comparing the two, and we can say, okay, eggs got 6, waffles got 2, to figure out how many more we can subtract. To say, eggs got 4 more votes than waffles. If you look carefully, make sure you're looking at what the graph is counting by, then bar graphs are pretty straightforward, not always. So how many people chose eggs as their favorite breakfast food? Just reading it. How many chose waffles? Does the scale on the graph count by 2s, 3s, 4, or 6s? So the scale is the numbers on this axis. So it goes from 0 to 12, and it counts by 3s. So the interval is 3s, and it goes from 0 to 12. And again, it's just reading, thinking carefully. How many more is asking to subtract. If it asks how many people voted in all, or something about like all of them together, then we just need to add up all the numbers. So like, how many total votes were there? Well, 7 plus 6 plus 2 plus 3. And then that would tell me how many votes that it gets. So go ahead and read the graph on your worksheet. I will just point out this is your worksheet. Notice how this one is turned sideways. Still the same thing. We have months, and then we have the number of subscriptions. And you can see it's counting by 300, but they did do a nice thing, and they gave you these little light lines. And think, okay, what are those counting by? Well, if this is 300, and there's sort of 3 jumps, that would be 100, 200, and then 300. And then sometimes it's even in between that. So if this is 500 and this is 600, what's right in between there? 50, 550. Okay? So, and then just read the questions carefully. Let me know if you need help. Good luck.